Morning. A little bit of a late start this morning. Let's go ahead and get right in. Right. Sorry about being on here late. We will be getting into the next part of Ezra, our short chapter. Not next time, but I will be on here just a little bit later to go over that with you. But without further ado, let's do our daily message from the Quran. Hope everybody is doing great and had a lovely weekend. Right. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Okay, so this is Surah 23, Al-Mu'min. This is the hardest to pronounce for me. Al-Mu'minun. Al-Mu'minun, okay? Which means and translates to the believers. And this is the very beginning of this Surah. And it's really describing the believers and what it encompasses believers. The believers. Okay, so we'll read a few lines. Well, I might as well just read the first four here, where my thumb landed. It says, the believers must eventually win through. Those who humble themselves in their prayers, who avoid vain talk, who are active in deeds of charity. And it goes on just a little bit further, but I think this would just be a good, succinct message to cover for right now. I feel like we've read this one before. If it sounds familiar, you are probably right. The believers must eventually win. And interesting, right, how we are phrasing, or the Quran phrases actions of life, right, our deeds, and does talk about the outcome as if it is a competition, right, winning or losing. The Quran actually goes over this quite a lot, okay, whether it be, losing your way, losing faith, or just being, physically lost, spiritually lost. It talks about that a lot. But it also talks about, more rare, but it's here, right here in this line, winning. And it really does confirm the things that we've discussed before, which means life is a little bit of a competition. Okay? It's a little bit of a competition. It's actually, as much as it's leisure and as much as it's, mundane, it's best to frame it like the sense that you are competing. There was another line too, a little bit of a competition. How life is structured as a test. Okay, life is to test those who are best in their performance, or who are best in their deeds. I forget, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on the line, because it comes through on the ear gates just a few times, pretty recently, I should say. What am I trying? I'm not saying either of those things. I'm saying it's come through in the mind and ear gates frequently. It comes through frequently, okay? Life is but a test to see who are the best in conduct. Okay, I think that's it. Best in conduct. So we talked about a little bit the purpose of life, right? Purpose of life. And it is very much a test. Ian did confirm. Would have just what if this is just kind of like a holding cell for us? What if Earth, all it is just a holding cell, a waiting period for us to move on? And immediately he stated, no, it's much more significant than that. Much more significant. And you are being tested. You are being tested to see whom, oh my goodness, to see who are the best in conduct, whom is the best in conduct. So with that, there is a little bit of competition involved. competition. And if you fail, we know the worst thing that could happen if you fail. Okay, we're very aware. We don't need to go over that fear-based, but this is also a little bit of a source of fear, right? Is competition. Is the other side of that, right? Is losing your identity, okay, and having to start fresh. That is also a fear for many, I would think. And I feel like it's something that we don't really talk about. Yes, hell, right? That's there, it's present, it's real, it's scary, and it's the absolute worst outcome that could possibly happen to an individual or to a soul or a spirit. But we also have the losing and the erasure, nearly, of your identity, your previous identity, to go ahead and start fresh. That's not as scary because you hold on to lessons from your previous times here on earth, and then you can reincorporate them as you get better and more improved and more clear-headed. But the ultimate goal is Jannah, or heaven, okay? So that is the ultimate goal. So it really is a fierce competition to reach the highest level of that attainment, okay? That is the primary goal. And I wouldn't even say that's the goal. That's the reward that comes. The primary goal is to focus as believers, okay? Worship only one, our God, right? Only one, the God that has created us and has allowed us to exist, okay? So we are giving praise and giving worship to that God. Does that make sense? To the one God. Sorry, I'm a bit stumbly at this time, but how do we do this, right? Through prayers, to humble themselves in prayers, and I will share a little bit more with you on prayers and how to pray. I'll talk about that another time, but that's coming. Through prayers, and who avoid vain talk, okay? Vain talk, talking with problems that only exist within yourself and trying to get others involved in like a petty thing, all right? A petty problem, something that's not relevant to really anyone else possibly but you. I would say avoid that, right? Petty problems, talking about others too, like it is involving you, like it's a problem for you. And we all have thoughts, we all have our different misconceptions and conceptions, so just go ahead and not speak on them most of the time if you think it's going to cause an issue or cause offense. So avoid vain talk, avoid vain type as well, okay? It's all recorded, and that is the most dangerous, because it's not only your thoughts are recorded as well, but only for the Most High. But when you have your typing and your voice, okay, that's something that other people can witness and hear. So it's best just to hold back when you can, when you think it's appropriate. All right. And those who are active in deeds of charity. So we have lots of opportunities for charity. Large charities, small charities, okay, all over the world, all over in our own country. But it could also be something as simple as taking care of our service workers in the U.S., right? Making sure you're tipping, making sure you're, just being generous. I think being generous is very helpful. It helps loosen the grip on your heart to make yourself more open and more compassionate, okay? Just, sometimes it's hard to give up what little that we accumulate, but it's best, because the faster you can give it up with an open and willing heart, the faster the new funds or new supplements will come to you and service what you really need to get done. Okay, so that is helpful, right? Competition of life. Very simple steps. Sometimes they can be a little bit challenging, but it's just things that we can always pay attention to and just be mindful of at all times. Very, very simple instructions to go ahead and get the edge, right? The competitive edge, and to go ahead and start on your faith journey in general, right? So I think this is very helpful. God bless you guys. I'll catch you back on here in a little bit, and we're going to read about Ezra and the nation of Judah and Israel, and what they are transforming into with the help of the Persian Empire and their beginnings as well. The Persian Empire is fairly new during the time frame that we're reading about, so it's interesting to see their growth as well as Judah and Israel being reconstructed. Alright, well, God bless you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.